All right, everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Injustice Pro Series Online West Cup. Here we have entered into top 8 territory, and I can't wait to get into this bracket, guys. Welcome back. It was a little bit of a break, but Arma, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm doing all right, chilling, waiting for these great games to take us on and, to just witness what it is to be a top-level Injustice 2 player. Aquaman, take us through the bracket. Let us know what we're going to be seeing.
Woo. Top to bottom, we've got Scar versus Ominous. Battle of the Texas Boys going to start us off. Then we've got Rewind versus NubCakes in another classic. Going down the loser side of the bracket, we're going to have Wakeups versus TBD. To be determined, has not shown up yet. And then we're going to have Theo versus Deoxys on the loser side of the bracket. One of them is going home at 7th. That's savage in and of itself. That goes to let you guys know what the level of competition has been here in this bracket so far, and it's only going to get better from here as we have just entered the elite, the top 8, where the money is, where the points are, and let's get this thing underway.
Yeah, points are definitely present here and going to be a huge factor when it comes to qualifying for the Injustice finals later this year, where players are going to be competing for a lot of money, game and life-changing money. That's where it's all worth it. Was my investment of dedicating all this time really worth it at the end? Did it pay off? And, there's going to be a lot of saltiness. There's going to be a lot of sadness in the air, but there's also going to be greatness when we crown our Injustice 2 Pro Series champion of Season 2 this year. Is it going to be Sonic Fox? Is it going to be anyone else?
Anyone else, that's right. And, this season has been different.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic Fox, no wins.
No wins
on the Injustice Pro Series, and he utterly dominated season number 1. Right now he's in so many different games, and I think right now is the opportune moment someone else to shine. And look out at the Injustice Pro Series finale for all these guys to really, the level playing field has been opened up drastically. We've seen more upsets than we ever have before. We've seen more characters than we ever had before, more players than we ever had before, that are doing really well. And it's just a very exciting time for Injustice 2 competitively. And we're getting into the match that is going to be Scar versus Ominous. It's going to be Black Adam going up against Brainiac.
Now, this is going to be a very interesting match. I think it's going to play a lot around Ominous's lack of wake-ups with Black Adam. So let's see how Scar utilizes it and bullies his opponent.
Yeah, and this is a matchup that I've always thought, going back to the day ones of this game, where Brainiac can actually compete with Black Adam. He's actually going to win the air-to-air trade. So dive kick versus dive kick, Brainiac wins. And we'll see if Scar can get that control that we saw happen in the last game, and we're already in the sweet spot for Brainiac. This is where he wants to be, where he can put out drones, he can throw up his giant limbs, he can throw 50-50s, he's got the big damage. That's what he's all about, but I'm going to slowly creep his way out of the corner there, and I thought that Scar had a drone loaded that entire time. And in the neutral, snuffs out anything from Scar there, not blocking with that Black Knight.
But Scar finds his way there with the wake-up, whiffing the meterbird dive kick here. Is Scar. Ominous not really too fast enough to really punish here, but he's finding himself closer and closer to the corner. This is where Scar can dominate and dictate the pace. It's going to be enough to close this out. And the very grim look here for Ominous as he goes into this round with his back up against the wall.
Patient there by Scar, and not checking afterwards either on the dive kick, right? Plus frames, but Ominous not taking his turn either. Both of these guys are kind of in each other's heads when it comes to the situations, and another dive kick, but drops the ender that would have been the health bar for Ominous, and now all of this is just free damage for Scar. But that orb will not kill, but the air-to-air will, as Ominous does take that first bar without losing too much of his own on the second one here.
Yeah, that's really just about a high-level player keeping his cool, keeping his composure. But Scar looking to change that here as he bullies him with drones. A great block by Ominous.
Big damage here. Getting some optimal stuff. No, just keep it simple. They have an optimal this. Oh no, one of the.
Your power astounds.
This surprises you.
One of the worst input airs you can get, but that one actually meant a input air. He could have just gotten a reversal on the side. That thing whiffs for absolute days, but Scar does have the position that he wants, which is the corner. He's gonna follow the drone for some pressure. No, keep things simple, put out multiple drones. This man's a machine.
Oh, good check throw there.
Woo.
Oh, and Scar just calling it out perfect. Knew that Ominous had no chance to clash here, not giving him the opportunity, and knew that Ominous was forced to use an air escape and was all over it with the dive kick. Brainiac, one of the better characters to really stop those air escapes on the right read.
Absolutely, and you know he kind of goes under the radar too as far as the damage that he puts out and just how solid he is as an actual character fundamentally. And I think that's why we see him at such high levels, you know, with Tekken Master Scar, so on and so forth, doing really well. Is because the character he's very unique. His tool set is very unique, and he kind of has this answer. He doesn't have an answer for everything, but he has a way to play the game almost in every way. You know. Oh my goodness! Starting off with the gigantuan down 2. That thing goes to the absolute skies.
Yes.
Technical strike.
And Starfire's jump just wasn't enough to get away. Ominous trying to kind of set the style of lame play, just sitting back.
Ooh, it's perfect. Dive kick over. Like, I think he just went barely underneath that little glitter that Ominous was able to put on the screen. This is the first time I've seen his Starfire. We'll see how up to par it is. And if Scar is ready, reactionary DP, that thing is disgusting. The forward hitbox on it, the hitbox behind it, still hitting on the ground actively. And that could be key to shutting down this aerial assault from Brainiac. Unless he's following him with drones, like we saw earlier, it's so hard to stop him from doing that when the drone's coming at your face at, I don't know, 40 miles an hour. It's not coming too slow.
It's pretty.
It's on the way.
And here we go, connects the back 3, cashing in here, doesn't use the bar meter, but fishes out that meter bird roll there, hitting Scar on the recovery frames.
It's pretty crazy how in that situation he actually he wouldn't have got the kill if he came off the bar in the air and came off over straight. So he dropped it intentionally, got the damage where he could, and then on block that may have killed. Like, for the same resources, the same everything, it's actually better to drop that and save that from the chip or hit on the ground.
And that's definitely thinking like a competitor there.
There is little chance.
I don't even know what kind of stagger that was from Ominous. I don't think I've seen that normal Starfire, but Scar getting the hit with the dive kick. Pushed into the corner slowly but surely. An air-to-air trade, wow. I mentioned how one of Brainiac's weaknesses is instant air normals, but that's against all those little float shenanigans. Brainiac, his jump on himself is kind of gross. And going into the interactable, Ominous was looking to block something, and
Brainiac
out of nowhere, the unblockable Statue of Atlantis meeting him. What an end to that round.
And that's what it took. Scar saw the win there, saw the opportunity, and just perfectly executed it, perfectly seized it, put it in his own hands, and just slammed it right on Starfire's face for the win. Very dominant 2-0 lead here.
That was just perfect recognition of the health, where he was on the screen, you know, where it was in the match, that this was going to kill. And it's like he had an Ominous condition to block. I don't think Ominous saw that coming a mile away, even though he is well aware of that interactable and where it is on the screen. That was just gorgeous by Scar to implement that right when he did and to close out that game.
I mean, that's like standing next to a pit and then, you know, not seeing it and wondering, wow, why did my opponent think about pushing me into it?
Yep.
A Scar here, looking to dominate Ominous here, looking to not give him any breathing room, looking to not give him any kind of momentum.
Oh my goodness, and all of the drones into the approaches have worked so far, even the mix, the down one to the dive kick, the truest 50-50 that there is. And this pressure is on, being surmounted by Scar right now. Oh my goodness! That was utterly disgusting, and it's so good. If you're going to commit to a down 2 with Brainiac, I can't believe hit that far behind him. If you're going to commit to a Brainiac down 2, always follow it up with the drone. You can get a lot of damage and a couple of cool pickups with it if you get that down 2 to hit. On Anti-Air, you can get a backstab, I believe, off of it. A lot of cool things. And opening up with a standard jump 2. Brainiac is so crazy, there's so many different mix-ups with his floats that you hardly expect a simple jump in.
Ominous looking for his footing here. I think he's doing a pretty good job of dancing around the drones, knowing which one does what, knowing which ones he can duck under. But here we go, Ominous getting something started. Is he going to utilize the background bounce? Yes, he does. What a bait and what a call out of that wake up here. Ominous looking to turn this around, looking to shift the momentum back into his favor.
That looked like it was an on-meter burn dive kick too, and Scar was ready for it. With that down one, gets hit by a raw black magic here. Get a slight corner push. Nope, stay out here at the full screen. Makes Scar come to him, and it's working out. He blows up the gap in between the dive kick and the meter burn version. Beautiful stuff by Almas. You guys should be taking notes on this.
You're unworthy.
Great way to get through that Radiant pressure. Knowing where the gaps are is key to understanding matchups in this game.
Feel Conduct's wrath.
It picks a weak champion.
Almost taking the damage, and lucky that that dive kick didn't beat his face, and Scar only a hit away now. They're advancing on the winner's side. The drone coming in at the mid, and anything's going to be chipped out at this point, and Scar going to advance 3-0 over Ominous to make winners finals.
And what a dominant performance here by Scar. You know, looking to just, you know, set the mood, set the pace for what is everyone else's destruction. Scar is trying to come out and come away with as many points as possible. No games, we're not messing around. It's Brainiac time. And you can hold this 3-0, Ominous. I'm going to keep going. Stay out of the lower bracket.
That's guaranteed top 3 for Scar already. That's points, that's money on the week. Excellent stuff so far. And he hasn't even dropped, I think, a game in this entire bracket. So Scar really on his stuff tonight. And he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, as either Rewind or NubCakes is going to be meeting him in the winners finals there. And that's what's coming up right now. Rewind versus NubCakes. And what is the matchup going to be? Who in Rewind's deep arsenal is he going to go with? We actually saw NubCakes take out Deoxys to get here, so I think that Rewind might be hesitant to break out that Beetle, or he's going to be stubborn and break out Beetle regardless, and then DM Deoxys later and go, that's how it's done.
That's how it's done.
He's a savage. Rewind's a savage. If y'all don't know, he's like that.
He definitely is. He's, you know, the young gun looking to prove himself in any way that he possibly can. But however, there is a lot on the line here. Like we said, these are points that are going to determine whether you qualify or not. And if you're already qualifying, which, you know, I believe Rewind's in a good spot right now, you know, it determines what kind of seed you get into this event. It determines who your first opponent's going to be and how far away you are. But Rewind going with the Flash, that's a very interesting choice. I feel like NubCakes actually plays a lot, especially in the early days of Injustice. He has a lot of Flash experience, and I don't see this panning out too well for Rewind. I think NubCakes is composed, and he understands that this is a guessing game when it comes to the Flash. Sometimes you're going to guess wrong, sometimes you're going to guess right, and NubCakes knows where to capitalize and where to just hold it.
Yeah, if you want a character that just is going to shut down the Flash as much as possible, Batman is an excellent choice as long as those mechanics bats are active. The only thing is, when the Flash gets a hit, things can go downhill for the bats.
That goes for any character the Flash is hitting. The momentum train that is the Flash is just a perfect placement for a comeback.
You know, Batman only having the one wake up, that is a risk, but him having it does give him that one, you know, escape type of mix. But yeah, it's all about him slowing down the Flash here, making approaches, little things like that. And it looks like he's been in full control from round 1 fight so far.
Yeah, those overheads are not going to trick NubCakes. NubCakes all over it. He understands what to see, how to react to things, and I don't think this is going to be a good pick here for Rewind, as NubCakes is displaying it here with utter domination.
Yeah, Rewind hasn't been able to get anything going, even the air not working on his favor. Looked like Nubs did get his secret little knee out there, that jump one from Bats.
Best anti. Best anti.
Restand there, dropped it down. Rewind gets some big damage. And he knocked down. Is he going to try to 50-50 into the trait? Doesn't get it. And now slowing down the match here is NubCakes. I actually wouldn't be surprised if we see NubCakes get a little crazy with the health lead and try to parry one of those approaches as well.
Possibly. I mean, he's got a lot of life to work with, but I'm not sure it's draining here.
Down 1 with Batman, something you don't see every single day, and the interactable straight and raw for Rewind is going to take that first bar. And now NubCakes, you know, he has a lot of resources and a health lead. If you get hit by the Flash, actual trade activated, it could turn into a different story. You could have to wager, you could find yourself prone to one later on in the match. Oh my goodness, what a whip punish with the stand one. And not gonna come off of that trait is Rewind. He's gonna be stubborn and trying to force the clash and then save it for after.
Yeah, definitely that's definitely the finishing move when it comes to any Flash player. Utilizing that character power, but hold on, NubCakes first the clash himself.
Chum, push yourself harder.
3 for 3. Is he gonna meet him? Ooh, he's gonna get Rewind 15%. NubCakes gonna save one for a potential clash of his own, but Rewind, if he gets a hit with the Speed Force, he can do a lot unclashable too, and then just try to 50-50 his way out. You never know. Okay, NubCakes, that 2-3. Walk up, it's a mix!
Walk up, it's a throw here.
Giving Rewind Case the flash his own medicine right there. Okay, time has been slowed. And he's gonna meet it, burn it! It doesn't matter if time is slowed or not. When that thing's out there, if you hit the button, it explodes.
It explodes. Yeah, that's true. You can't slow down time in the real world. If anything, it gives NubCakes a little bit of an advantage here. You know, he can kind of see it coming, and when Flash's character power is activated, you cannot block, or the Flash cannot block.
That's right. The Flash deserves every single thing that happens to him while Speed Force is active. I mean, the man's slowing down time for gosh sakes. And now, you know, 2 picks haven't worked out for him. And he has a very deep arsenal.
Does Rewind have an Aquaman?
Rewind does have an Aquaman. Rewind has a lot of characters. And is he going to stick it out the Flash here? He is.
Going with the pick, but I feel like, you know, even though it wasn't that dominating, like NubCakes was in control.
Yeah, outside of the big hits, again, the entire match, Rewind was fighting an uphill battle. Which, you know, he's been playing at that pace. The match with Theo went almost that exact way, where it was just a grind for him in that matchup. And I feel like he believes in him making the right reads at the right time to get the damage and the setups going, but it has not gone that way so far. That's NubCakes getting another huge conversion here. In the corner. About to get the mechanical bat too.
There it is, the bat. What NubCakes is waiting for his way into this game, into the footsie range. And we're going to be left in a standing position here. The up batarang goes for a regular string, and what a challenge here by Rewind.
Oh my goodness. Those two stared each other in the eyes, and NubCakes said, I bet you're going to approach. Jump back into the corner, full combo conversion. NubCakes, that was a galactic level read there.
Hold on, another read here by Rewind, chasing down that backdash and mixing them up at the perfect opportunity. And again, chasing down the backdash. Rewind has NubCakes' number. He's in his head. He's going to cash in for lots of damage.
And now one hit away from tying us up. And that's, I mean, all you have to do is have faith in getting those hits with a high damaging mix-up character. But is NubCakes, oh my goodness, that barely whiffed. But if Rewind were going to open up there, that would have spilled a little bit of disaster here in the second game.
Oh, whiffs the throw and gets thrown himself.
I'm looking to phase something. I'm not too sure he was trying to phase at that distance. Maybe battering, maybe the mechanical bat itself thinking he was going to just let that bad boy rip. And now that it's out, you know, I love watching someone make an aggressive play and then watch a mechanical bat come out and they just freeze still. Oh my goodness!
Anti-shimmy. Shimmy on the other
just
side.
Might measure up. I'll run circles around you.
So that was a perfect reaction there by Rewind. Instead of reacting with a throw tech, instead gives him a neutral jump one and converts into a full combo, forcing the clash.
Rewind's building that bar. Wants to try to get as much of a meter lead as he can on NubCakes at this point. If we can force out a wager or not, he's about to get straight back. There it goes. There's that Thunderbolt activating. And now he's gonna look for any kind of hit because on NubCakes, if he gets a hit with a trait, he could potentially go for some form of a reset and take this game right now. That's what the Flash possesses. Comeback factor. Oh my god, get the punish! Here we go! It isn't going to take one. It's actually going to take two. It's going just for outright damage here. Look for mix up here. Oh my goodness, the people's elbow from the sky from NubCakes, and he's going to take game number 2.
Perfectly executed there. NubCakes went with a perfect read through the glitter. Meter burned it, hit him with the people's elbow because he knew even if Rewind blocked it, he would have been at a frame advantage to continue his pressure. NubCakes, such a great and calculated player, displaying his knowledge of the matchup here.
Was that a wake-up jump forward too?
NubCakes?
From NubCakes as well. He jumped forward and then glitter elbowed back, right?
NubCakes forward dash on wake up.
Forward
and
dash.
Rewind just didn't react to it, and then it jumped away from him, turned to the other side and glittered. Yeah,
So he forward dashed and then did a jump?
Yeah.
I'm out. So when you make that read when the flash is throwing a meaty against you, or in a situation where he can throw buttons on your wake up, and you're like forward dash, I got this, coach. And Rewind in a what could be decisive game, going with Blue Beetle, who we just saw NubCakes beat the round before.
Beat or destroy.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I would say it was utter destruction there by NubCakes. I don't think he's in a bad spot right now. He knows this matchup. He's beaten one of the best.
We'll see if Rewind can throw something a little bit different in the pot to add a different device. Something that NubCakes might not have seen before from this character. Oh, a lot of sweeps. That's a little bit of a difference that we've seen. A lot of sweeps come out here from Rewind. And look at that first bar of health. Yeah, he's got some momentum. Oh my goodness, that was so good from Rewind. He took away the gap.
This isn't your best.
It's never good enough, is it?
I love Rewind's decision to just hop over instead, and because he knows the mechanical bat was going to back up the slide. So instead he said, you know what, I'll jump over and apply my pressure, which is what he keeps doing. But hold on, NubCakes with the adaptation here.
And just swung the down two after a jump in. Get a lot of raw 4-3 from NubCakes. And this is a matchup even earlier against Deoxys as well. Did he kill the back 2-3? Not enough. So close. He got the slide afterwards for the swag, and it keeps Blue Beetle in the corner. Feels terrible, man. For a special move that naturally ends with your opponent on the other side, for him to actually get the damage and keep it there.
I never quit.
That's NubCakes, man, a calculated player. He knew the situation. He knew it was enough for the kill and the corner and keeping the corner. Very important stuff in fighting.
Ooh. He actually threw out that mechanical bat perfectly too, because Rewind was about to flight cancel that jump too, perhaps, and anything he would have done, I think would have done the gap for the mechanical bat to come out. Oh my goodness. NubCakes is on some stuff right now, but this is a potential big damage here. Rewind and a corner push. Going for some mix-up. Ooh, end up on the not crossing up, even though dashing over the hitbox. But NubCakes still making another huge read with that mechanical bat, and always having something ready to convert into damage off those bad boys.
And always having a backdash. I think I just saw 3 in a row.
Oh! 2 bars for NubCakes just to beat that EX blast, and now 2 bars for Rewind. Blue Beetle does possess the damage here to get the kill. If Rewind gets a hit, he does possess the damage. 2 bars, easy day at the offense. Oh my goodness, no! Are you kidding me? NubCakes!
NubCakes making the comeback, like I said, in a very comfortable spot. Knows he knows the matchup, sniped him out of the air with that upward batarang, keeping him there and continuing the combo with the forward 3. And just, again, understanding what resources were available to his opponent, knew he was going to go for the air escape. That was good. That was perfect.
It was as if NubCakes could do no wrong. Like, he was just on another level, in another world, in comparison to everyone else so far tonight. The way he's playing, I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got to
be... It's going to be a fantastic winners finals. I don't think either of these gentlemen have dropped a single game tonight.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be like 2 giant trains clashing here. And I'm not really sure who's going to give up the game. I mean, you know, you do have... I feel like when you're talking about Brainiac versus Batman, a lot of people feel like, you know, Batman's at an advantage there. He's got those anti-air batarangs that recover very quickly. that can lead into damage either through meterlessly through a mechanical bat or just with meter and a forward 3. And I think that's going to play a huge role into Scar's plan. And Scar's got to be thinking of something else, possibly looking at Supergirl. I know he's been playing that character a little bit less, but I think it might be a good plan B.
Yeah, if there's one character that shuts down Brainiac more than any other, it is Batman. That's been since day one. A Batarang is just a thorn in that man's side. As we're going to move on to the loser side of top 8, as we got Wakeups going up against WhiteBoi. WhiteBoi was, we were waiting on him to get brackets, and he was able to do so successfully, and he has joined us here in top 8 losers. He is facing Wakeups right now. Let's get into the matchup. Who is, we saw Wakeups have a few characters.
Yes.
He had been playing Adam quite often, which actually I know Adam players are kind of iffy about that. They think that Scarecrow might actually win that.
It could be possible. I mean, Scarecrow's normals are so, large. Okay, hold on. What are we going to see here?
We're going to see Dr. Fate. I think that he knows, and I think everyone knows the character WhiteBoi is going to pick. I think he's coming in here cleanly with a potential counter pick. But WhiteBoi is known for overcoming them ever since day one here in Injustice 2.
I mean, this is a guy who's, for the most part, been a character loyalist. I mean, I remember seeing a pocket dead shot here and there.
Pocket dead shot, yep.
Well, who didn't have a pocket dead shot? I feel like everyone just kind of walked around and, oh, here's one. Got it.
Let's just be serious here. I think everyone had a pocket dead shot, but now here we're in a different world, and the immediate jump and read by WhiteBoi is going to put Wakeups here into a tough position, knocked down and in the corner, and he is going to make this man guess so many different ways off of that down one, the Scarecrow away, and another point blank mix up off of that down one, and this has just been going to be a nightmare. If you don't get Scarecrow off of you, and he hasn't woke up either. We're going to see if the conditioning pays off here for WhiteBoi. If he actually baits one out here eventually. Oh my goodness, the jump is working out perfectly for him.
Yeah, you really got to watch out for that jump into there by Scarecrow. Much like Catwoman's whip, it does reach really far, and it's a great way to just counter zoning.
It has such horizontal hitbox to it, and yeah, those orbs are actually not going to stop it if he has the space to eat those. So in that situation, you put out the EX orb, and you saw Wakeups wait to throw the projectiles. If he was throwing the projectile hit, I think he would have actually punished him trying to absorb that orb. Even there, he's trying to set up, and WhiteBoi's just kind of eating.
Yeah, I feel like WhiteBoi's just kind of, taking the lesser of two evils, not trying to really open himself up here. But off to a great start here. A lot more hit stun when Dr. Fate is glowing red like that. More hit stun on his projectile.
And that was beautifully spaced and reacted to by WhiteBoi with the 4-3. Another one. Look at that hook. Roll 2. Are you kidding me? What?
The damage.
That did so much damage. Hook, line, and second from this man.
Definitely an emphasis there on the hook there. That just reached Fate perfectly. Fate was nowhere to be seen, but that hook still found its way right to his helmet and just sent him for a ride, an unclashable ride here. In this game, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot clash back threes or forward threes from any character.
And if you meter burn the initial back three, you cannot air escape out of the meter burn version. So you have to hold and die there after the very first meter burn.
Hold it, die. Let's go to game 2.
Yep. Game 1 never happened for Wakeups. He's going to go in here with a fresh mind and say that never happened.
That's what a strong competitor would do. Let's see if he can actually make it happen here.
Memory of loss is actually a tactic here in competitive play, ladies and gentlemen.
Someone hit me really hard in the head, so I don't remember.
Ooh, that was a deep stagger by WhiteBoi. Go to that stand 3, just kind of chilling around for a minute. Good blocks there by Wakeups. Everyone forgets about those very sneaky lows. Oh my goodness. Even making the armor here, putting on the stank, and trying to get over the Wakeup, but Scarecrow's hitbox might be a little too big. And he's going to try to chip this man out. Good push block here. On the Wakeup, what is the damage done? And he's going to teleport behind anyway. There was no stopping.
I feel like that was a great way to just kind of end the round here. He knew he was going to have to give up the corner, but he's okay. WhiteBoi's been in control. He's calm and collective here.
The range that Scarecrow plays at is abnormal. It's so long. And it just always feels like he's been striking this. That's what I find so scary about this character.
Scary. I see what you did there. And
Oh my goodness.
can you
And
talk
there's that
about
activate trait. Yep, and that's it.
why, WhiteBoi? Why did you have to do it like that in such a demoralizing fashion? Just said to his opponent, "It's okay. Here it is. Checkmate."
You just sit there and you summon that bad boy, and you just sit there and you wait, drink some tea, you hang out with your buddies, and you just wait for the match to just abruptly end at that point.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, that's Scarecrow's character power, a little bit of a passive thing once he activates it. It doesn't, mess with his combos or his normal moves in any way, but when you're close to him, when the fear toxin is activated, it's actually going to be doing damage to you over time. Even if you're comboing Scarecrow, you're going to be getting chipped away little by little.
And you can see that WhiteBoi just has no fear of Wakeups or Dr. Fate in general right now. He is just swinging freely. I mean, so many back threes, so many four threes. All of these normals just get thrown out because he is just not afraid of Wakeups right now. And, Dr. Fate is a tough matchup. There we go. Turn it back to the screen. But he's just been comfortable. Gets the read immediately.
Well, like we said, every single zoning attempt is a risk, and WhiteBoi understands it.
And even there, I was about to say, he was kind of in range. Just wasn't too close for that 4-3, but he has used that before against the board. He's not afraid to do it again, so he's just showing Wakeups a lack of fear, and maybe injecting Wakeups with a bit of his own. You would think that kind of, the master of fear wouldn't be afraid himself, right?
He's not afraid. He's afraid.
Never afraid.
Never.
Chat, does Scarecrow get afraid? Whoa, look, you see
How fast that recovered?
and how forward of a hitbox that blast had to absorb it? That was from max distance. Plus frames here. Plus 6. What are you gonna do? You're gonna keep guessing.
Prayers won't save you.
Big shout out to Robert English for voicing Scarecrow.
Such a menacing voice.
He is perfect.
People have been fearing that for years, generations even.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for him to actually face that attempt by WhiteBoi, but the moment he gets aggressive onto a 4-3, and when he finally evens us up on health, his bar just disintegrates. The command grab, the knockdown. He's got to activate the toxin when he's third time to get aggressive there. There it is. Teleport in.
Very smart stuff.
Wait a minute! That was the smartest thing I may have ever seen! He put it away, but the back two was too early! And WhiteBoi is gonna take it with a jump through that was almost, dare I say, lucky at that point. That was so clutch from Wakeups to avoid the imminent death, though. That was smart. That was hype. That was so hype.
That was so smart. It looked like he had it. It looked like it was a done deal for WhiteBoi if he was playing any other character. But this is Dr. Fate, able to heal in that glowing yellow orb. And he knew it. He called it out perfectly. You're going to turn on character power, and you're going to teleport behind me.
That was, man, if you would have won that, could you imagine what that would have, like, the new life that would have breathed into him going into a potential game number 4 there? That would have been huge for Wakeups. But unfortunately, close but no cigar there, as we're going to move on to our last match of the first round of losers. And it's a doozy.
It is.
Theo versus Deoxys. So what that sets up on the upper half of the loser side of the bracket is going to be WhiteBoi versus Rewind. And then the winner of this is going to go on to face Ominous. And of course, winners finals being Scar versus NubCakes for you guys. And if you guys want to go to smash.gg and follow along with us, please feel free to. Bracket is up. We also got the graphic on this wonderful broadcast. If you guys take a gander at. But yeah, this is going to be a doozy right here. Theo, Deoxys. This is, again, another matchup of old guard versus new guard, because Deoxys is right now, he's like on his up and coming. He's on that grind, that prime, that he seems to be in. Multiple top 8s in a row. I think he missed out on at CEO by one place. Would he get 9th at CEO?
I want to say he was just one game shy, definitely.
Yeah, so very close stuff there. I mean, the guy's just at the top of the game. And Theo as well. Theo couldn't make it there. So we haven't got to see too much of what Theo's bringing to the table right now. But right now is a really good example. We're going to see what these guys are going to do and who's going to advance on the loser side. One of them is getting 7th. And the other going to be fighting for these points.
And this isn't there aren't as many points as a premier event, and I feel like at a premier event, people are usually people at a high level of gameplay are usually okay with, taking 7th. It's respectable,
Yeah.
But here I think they want a little bit more, just a little bit.
Yeah, and he lost to, what was it? It was Tekken Masters Brainiac, which was such an interesting matchup. It looked like he was so uncomfortable with how Brainiac was able to control the whole match, and I'm curious if we're ever going to get to see that. Save Deoxys makes a run tonight and gets in the Scar. But yeah, those are the matchups I see Deoxys struggle in, even when I get to see him every single week on War of the Gods, which is just awesome. I get to see all these guys so often. Is that Deoxys struggles in matchups where like they have control, or more control of the screen, and what Theo was what's happening?
He's trolling. He's trolling.
Is he trolling?
He's trolling.
He actually does have a Swamp Thing, though. Low-key, I actually know that Theo has a Swamp Thing.
Beetle.
But yeah, matchups where he just can't play his game plan, or looks like what Deoxys kind of struggles in. And the matchup that Theo lost to make winner's side, he has to face again, but it's someone completely different and may have a different approach towards the matchup. That's what I'm really curious about here, because him and Rewind was 2-3 last hit. And is Deoxys going to play this in the same exact way?
I mean, it could throw you for, a whirlwind when you're playing an opponent that plays a matchup completely different, but it can happen.
He just missed 3 projectiles in a row, though, Deoxys did. That's not a good start to the match. There we go. Get him going. And yeah, this looks like we're going to have the same approach that Rewind took to the matchup. Very, 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 I don't want to say slow, but it's a different style.
I feel like Deoxys is a little bit more rapid when it comes to his firing. He's willing to let Theo walk into the spot where he wants to be, and possibly looking to anticipate and counter his attack.
Yeah, so you're right. Rewind stopped once Theo got to a certain distance. But Deoxys has actually let a few rip when he's gotten really close. And they paid off. They've actually hit the stun up with other projectiles and things like that. And you saw that when Theo got to a certain range, he immediately checked with a safe shield bash, just because he could.
Oh, and that's a great trade there for Theo, getting all 3 hits of that meter burn.
These are pretty decent for Theo, but the out-damaging Umble Beetle and the 1 read.
Surrender, boy.
Too late for that, Doc.
Just call him boy.
They're regaining that lead and keeping the meter even. So smart. Even if he forces a splash out of Deoxys, would be even. But Deoxys coming and getting aggressive here.
Deoxys is definitely looking for the hit. He's looking for the hit here. Just gotta find his way in.
Tires. Still a couple years left on him, and making the move. Actually went inside of the orb, and Theo gonna simply chip out from that point on. Deoxys wanted that meter burn roll to go behind, but he actually got put inside of that orb, sitting there waiting for him. A gift from Theo for him here in game number 1.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscalculation there from Deoxys. You got to be super aware of your spacing. You got to know exactly where that meter burn roll is going to take you. He was hoping he'd get Theo to whip buttons the wrong way, or possibly not see it coming.
But yeah, these are already looking like the games that we saw with Rewind and Theo, just long drawn out and down to the wire. It seems if Deoxys would have made that read, could have thrown one mix into huge damage. As long as Beetle has a bar, it's going to hurt him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's absolutely that's all he needed. So it was a very close game. I think this is going to be a great set.
Right back to it here. Yeah, Deoxys, very, very good at being trigger happy on those things. I have seen a lot of input errors from time to time. Right now he is losing this battle. Play in. Ooh, check 3-3 of all things. That's that push with the spacing. A little bit interesting.
Yeah, interesting string you don't really see too often.
Oh, faded out the meter burn. Good stuff from Deoxys there. Knows the spacing that thing. You can't crouch it at a certain distance.
Yeah, kind of like a little throwback to Sinestro in the Justice 1 league.
Oh, the reaction to that meter burn roll by Theo, simply throwing that thing and getting the position with Deoxys back to the corner.
Yeah, very important to go for those back throws when your back's up against the wall. It bought Theo so much real estate here.
Oh my goodness. And he's going into a distance where he can get a trade. You know, here full screen he can't, but you see him inch his way forward and then throw one. So smart by Theo. Oh, here comes now trades. Anything on block, all in his favor. And I'm sure Theo's going to take that. He's got a trait, but that hit alone, with the activation they do 100 something damage depending on the character's defense.
Surrender, boy.
Too late for that, Doc.
What a call out there from Deoxys. Perfectly calculated and well-timed. Meter burn roll. Forces Theo to clash. But I don't think Deoxys has enough.
And see the down two from Beetle, which is very good down two. 6-framer. Getting annihilated by the fake jump 3 there, unfortunately. Deoxys trying to swing, but gets beat out, and Theo is now going to take a commanding 2-0 lead. I mean, he was perfectly warmed up for the match.
He was.
As the last one he played was a marathon of this exact thing, and Deoxys might not be coming in as ready.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, he needs a little bit more warming up, although Deoxys was a little bit closer in that first game. Theo, you know, understands where the adjustments need to be made.
Deoxys, hear me out. It hasn't worked out so far. You straight.
They're not going to. They know a lot more about the matchup.
Yes,
as much as we want to see those knives just shoot straight out of his forearms, it's not gonna happen.
Because, you know, if you activate trait and you get overly aggressive, not only is Fate designed to burn you, but that's Theo's style.
Yeah, he wants you to be aggressive.
Yep, he wants you to be aggressive, he wants to punish you for it. On top of that, he is also not ashamed to lame you out. I haven't seen too much mix off the back two either.
It's dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous territory.
Haven't seen one back two 3. Not much movement into the back two low stab, but Theo's had some clutch blocks. I wonder if he's going to pick up on that and maybe get real savage, stagger like back two. Oh, a real mix. Deoxys is going to take the first health bar here off of Theo. A couple things working out for him there, and they're neutral. A couple of them projectiles hitting.
I feel like what's working a lot for Deoxys is those shield bashes. He's getting to that point-blank range, and he's just going for the shield bash. It's safe on block anyway. Very safe stuff.
Ooh. Deoxys, I think, recognized that Theo forward dash there. Whoa! What a whiff, punish, and execution of meter. Just forced out this flash.
Too late for that, Doc.
That was going to add on some massive damage. Meter burn combos from Blue Beetle. He may be a teenager. He may be a teenager, but that suit makes him hit like a grown man.
Good old Honey Reyes. Just something here in the air. Theo traits up. Theo in the driver's seat. As you know, Deoxys is trying to close this gap. He's only been finding success as soon as he gets his hands on Theo.
Yeah, outside of that, Theo's actually controlled the zoning, spacing, everything, which is what Rewind, I think, did differently and a little more effectively against Theo. Is that he actually wasn't afraid to match, you know, the game plan. Okay. Now a different story. Now any hit from Deoxys will actually kill as get Theo to that second bar for a critical air escape.
I think Theo's teasing the motorcycle here.
There's a lot of cat and mouse going on right now between these two. Theo does have an air escape if he gets hit. But if he can, Deoxys can get a hit. Oh no. All the bar is gone. All the advantage in the Theo right now, and oh my goodness, didn't get a punish on the low stab. That would have been the game. Theo, I speak carefully here. Oh, the sweep of all things!
And Deoxys staying in the game here, the sweep to seal the deal. And really what was the difference maker here and what was the gift from God was that input error by Theo. There's no way he wanted to throw that healing orb out there.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Fate.
One of, again, when we talk about one of the worst things that
approaching
accidentally come out or input errors in the game, healing orb is one of them. That thing, lot of startup, lot of recovery. Sits out there, and where he throws it, it's no help to him unless he goes inside.
Ooh.
Begin.
And that's gonna write then this is Deoxys going in with a lot of confidence. He's like, I'm in there. The adrenaline is pumping high in his blood, high in his veins.
Yeah, and already had the first big read and was able to actually do some of that damage. All these trades in his favor. Excellent chip there by Theo, though. And what's his approach going to be? Ducking under these frosted Cheerios. This man's already had breakfast today. Ooh. Excellent space down one there by Deoxys. Checking this man's whiff there on the jump in. And these guys, it feels like they're just swinging at points, even here full screen. It doesn't look like it, but you know. That's like when you mash out a down one or something. That's when you see one of these EX projectiles coming out of nowhere.
Consider yourself
And
defeated.
unfortunate lack of trade there for Theo. He was looking for the hit to be a little silver lining to losing that first health bar. But you know, Deoxys turning this completely around here when he was on the brink of defeat.
Vengeance of Horus.
There, and damage here for Deoxys would be good, and that was an excellent read by Theo. I don't think that was a reaction. He had jumped like when the 4-dash had started.
That's the best anti-air.
To meet him in the air. Beautiful stuff.
Best anti-air. Instant jump one.
It looks like Deoxys has gotten a little more adjusted to the matchup, and he's timing and spacing his projectiles a little bit better, and maybe picking his spots really well. He has maintained a lead up until now, which Theo was about to regain back. And now just blow for blow. Closing moments just like we saw Rewind and Theo earlier tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost, it's deja vu at this point.
I mean, it was a wonderful set. I'm sure people asked for more, and here we are getting more. He goes for
Choose between order and chaos.
You are seriously old school.
One of the ugliest mix-ups Blue Beetles possess. Jump in, low stat. It's a risk, but it's about the lowest percentage of what you think a Blue Beetle player is going to do to you.
Oh, Theo forced to get aggressive here. He cannot take any trades. He's looking for the hit, and Blue Beetle just looking to chip out with a shield.
And all of a sudden, we're back in a Game 5 situation. Is this not what we found ourselves in with Rewind and Theo, where Theo wasn't he up 2-0 in that matchup as well?
It's so close. I don't know if he was up 2-0. I think it might have been 2-1. I think it was 1-1, 2-1. I remember the momentum shifting here. But it definitely, if you think about this set, Theo was ready to take this 3-0, and somehow, by God's grace, he was just given a second chance here through that input error, and Deoxys looking like he can take the entire thing, looking to reverse 3-0 this.
Yes, so with Rewind did win that very first game, so it was 1-2 that he had to fight and claw his way out of, and Deoxys on the verge of doing something even greater, which is a reverse 3-0. If he can pull it off, let's see how Game 5 shapes up. Oh, big old back two right there.
It was a great back two there. Perfect whiff punish of the jump in normal.
That's a beautiful float into the cancel upward against the back two from Deoxys there, avoiding that gigantic wall. And that's 2 times he's tried to anti-air that jump 3 and got burned for it. And oh, that's gonna be a lot of damage. Warps up. Now Theo commanding lead back 2, and now all of a sudden Theo trying to shut that down right now. He said, wait a minute, I gave you 2 games.
The Gonna go into that right perfect space here is Deoxys, but Theo completely denying him, dictating the zoning attitude here.
And as the, dare I say, veteran here, Theo looking in a clutch moment to just use his experience, not be affected by the 2-0 that Deoxys just happened to inflict upon him, and try to run away with this set and just take it away from him. Show this kid who's boss, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's what veterans are definitely going to do best, is keep that mentality. You've been in this situation before. You know how to keep your composure. You know how to stay calm in a bad spot.
Projectile there, we've seen that so many times. Back don't stand too. But 200 neutral isn't the worst thing with Beetle if you catch someone blocking. There's plus frames there. Force wager here.
You cannot handle its power.
Deoxys inching towards being on life alert. Theo just a couple of straight combos away. Meter burn projectiles. Just has to chip and eat away at this health bar of Deoxys if he wants to advance here in the Injustice Pro Series Online West Cup. Projectiles and just over the back two there. With Deoxys escaping a death, just trying to prolong it for a little bit longer. Keep the miracles to happen. Here we go.
Can he make it happen here? Forces the clash. He's got 2 bars.
Is he doing the damage,
Can't
folks?
crush this
Is he
one.
doing the damage right now? Or is he saving one for a launcher? He's doing it. And now all of a sudden we got ourselves a match. Wait a minute! Are you kidding me?
Deoxys pulling it out. That's it. Just one read. That's all it took. And Deoxys kept his composure and outspaced Theo perfectly. Knew where the projectile was going. Are you okay, Aquaman?
No, I'm good.
Are you okay?
No. Did you guys see that? Did
Are
you see
okay?
that read? The one time he was like, screw it, I'm just going to air dash in. And he got over what looked like a back two, punished it, and won the entire set.
I mean, you have to be aware. You have to know the spacing in the air. You have to know how far Blue Beetle can actually air dash. And he just got right through it, made it whiff perfectly. No problem.
My goodness. What a match. This top 8 has already been ridiculous. Game 5s, some of the best that the western side of our continent has to offer here online. Just amazing gameplay. You got to feel for Theo.
You do.
Two sets in a row falling the same exact way to the same character. You know, just one away.
Deoxys is a fucking madman. And he absolutely is. Deoxys is the maddest of men ever.
He is going to move on to set up another Battle of the Texans with Deoxys going up against Ominous. But we're going to move on to the winners final side of things, where we got Scar going up against NubCakes. And a battle of two that have really dominated this bracket from start to end has been Scar and NubCakes so far, as we're still trying to recover from those two matches in particular. Rewind Theo and then Deoxys Theo. It was just crazy how those matches were scripted from start to end. And the way that both of them ended was just unreal. But again, got to feel for Theo. But congratulations, Theo, getting top 8, getting a little bit of money and some points on the day for you towards the Injustice Pro Series season number 2. And we'll be looking forward to you at Evo here in a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Theo did get what he was looking for. Points that could later determine, making or breaking away just shy of, the top 12 spot. Theo not off to as great of a start as he was last year, and this time a lot more pressure on the line, a fewer amount of events, and Theo really only has, after this, his tournament life in this online qualifier is over. He's only got Evo and SCR left to do, so he's got to make something happen. And
we talked about winners finals earlier on, and Scar was definitely gonna, we thought, avoid the Brainiac versus Batman matchup, and we're already seeing it. This is what we kind of expected, making the read as to how Scar was gonna approach Batman and NubCakes in general. Welcome, guys, to this is winners finals of Online West here in the Injustice Pro Series. We're already getting to the corner. We got some Supergirl loops, one of the most balanced and nutritious breakfasts that you can find on the market today.
Love those loops, don't you?
Sure do. They are delicious.
Oh, just like that whiff punish was a little delicious. Slide going over to the wrong side.
Ooh! And NubCakes getting a little bit savage here, a little bit dirty with his mix-ups. And back 1-1 into low slide. That actually might be a new one for me. That actually might be something I haven't seen before.
A little bit of savagery that is the Batman mix-up, being able to cancel into that slide. I mean, you got a bat out, really, why not?
Ooh, get blown by Styler Scar. No commitment by NubCakes, though. Oh! That laser so fast! And a snipe out of the sky. That's going to get NubCakes back in this matchup. We're going to get a reset. Whoa! What? That was in no way, shape, or form real at all.
I mean, that's when you know you're up against an opponent that's completely shooken.
But it worked.
It was perfect.
He trying to maybe shimmy him and look to do the forward 3.
I mean, I think he put him in a spot where, you know, nobody's ever going to be pressing buttons when Batman throws an up battering, you know, on hits in the corner. So he's like, you know what? Scar's not going to press any buttons, and I'm going to shake it. Yes, forward 3 is definitely grabbing me.
I'm gonna quote.
Still fighting a girl, hero?
I never quit.
I'm gonna quote one of the great philosophers of our time, the great Coach Steve, who said, "I only tech throws with 4-3."
That is a great way to tech throws.
Down 2. Scarred feeling the pressure here. Regains the health lead, sort of. We're about tied up. And the neutral getting shut down once that mechanical back came out, but went the wrong way here. Look at the cross-up super over the down 2. That flash kick coming out from her.
Yeah, just kind of doing that nice somersault in the air. The down 2, very fast up, very hard to punish.
Woo. Coming in and getting a whip punish with the dive kick. And we're going back to the corner. NubCakes not going to go for anything crazy there. Meet on reaction. And without a wager here, Scar is going to fall. Back to 3 enough to get the kill. NubCakes picking up where he left off against everyone else on the night.
Batman
Scar's got
wins.
to do something to change this up. He's got to possibly reach into a different character in his, you know, portfolio of just wreckers, you know, in the terms of, you know, I feel like Scar's he's that player that's always working on a different character.
Yeah.
If this Supergirl pick does not work out, I think he might have to look into something different, something that NubCakes just might not be expecting. Because, like, as we saw before, NubCakes does his homework.
Absolutely. And you know, game 1 here definitely wasn't enough. You know, it wasn't one-sided enough to force a different pick here in game number 2. I think it was close enough to where Scar should stick out with the matchup and see how it progresses from there.
Dropping those lasers, utilizing that character power of Supergirl, really one of the best full screen presence that she has in her arsenal of tools.
Ooh.
He's being very patient, waiting for that bat, trying to do something afterward. And what a whip punish there by NubCakes, understanding the spacing perfectly.
Just on another level tonight. Ooh, this is OMG NubCakes prime that we're witnessing right now.
He's got something. He's got something for you. He's gonna put you in the corner. Is he gonna leave you standing? No.
Now don't you feel silly?
Mixing it up off the split. That's stand 3. She can go to the power bomb. She can stack it with a down 1 breath. We're not going to go for a third option, which is throw. Oh! Respect you guys show Batman with his mechanical bat floating around your head. Is incredible.
I mean, that is the neutral killer there. That's basically like a gun being pointed at your head and telling you, go ahead, play footsies, whiff a button in front of you.
Excellent block from NubCakes on the second time he's done teleport, but really the first time he's done it in a situation where he's trying to actually open NubCakes up. He did it last round, but it was simply for the kill.
Yeah, and it was perfect by NubCakes to meter burn the Batarang to recover instantly and be able to block and punish.
Oh! NubCakes over here trying to slide into Scar's DMs, but fortunately,
Ooh,
he
power bomb.
And power bomb. He didn't go for usually they'll stagger like a back one into the string again, or something to get a little more damage. Luckily, Scar's able to take the rest of that bar because he left that man on a magic pixel, and I wouldn't want someone playing at the level that NubCakes is right now to have a magic pixel against him.
No, you do not.
And how fitting would it be for NubCakes to try to win this entire event? And that combo even as an anti-air? Whoa. Crazy stuff NubCakes getting. Absolutely wild right now, but it's all working, so why not? But how fitting would it be if he actually found his way back into, say, like he did with E-League, with the Injustice Pro Series finale by opting to go with the online route?
I mean, hey, online is definitely a thing. We live in an era where we have a great netcode and a great company backing it.
Okay, fixed it. Has so many resources. He can't keep it uncrashable if he gets any kind of hit. But now he finds himself in the same situation, not clashing that one. And the cross up! Whoa!
How are you supposed to block that?
How? When all...
Batman wins.
What game is this?
When the last few times, so when he does back 1-1, he can do what? He can trade cancel, back 1-1 again. He can, as he's already done in this matchup like 17 times, back 1-1 slide, back 1-1-2, go for the overhead,
Batman.
and you don't expect to have to block cross up behind ever. I think in that scenario.
I mean, that's what you have to deal with when you have a character with a much smaller hitbox. And hold on, we're gonna see a Joker pick. Gonna stop everything that I'm thinking about, talking about, and just focus on the fact that Scar is picking Joker. Now, Joker is a character that I do main in this game, and I feel like this matchup is not favorable towards Joker. I don't necessarily think it's heavily in Batman's favor, but Batman definitely dictates the pace if he just uses mechanical bats to get in on Joker little by little.
Now, you mentioned, you never know if Scar's just working on a character secretly, and it looks like we just found out.
We found out. Here is a secret Joker pick. Maybe something NubCakes wasn't ready. Now, those chattering teeth do stay active out there for a while. You gotta wait for them to explode. And if you block something, if you block them, you just gotta hold whatever Joker's got.
Absolutely. Those are some best friends I ever saw. And wow, the recognition and the knowledge to wait and walk underneath that 4-3 where he actually got the side, like, green reversed back into the corner.
And there it is, the patience by NubCakes. He's got the bat character power ready to go and just says, go ahead, jump in. You're gonna hang yourself. I'm gonna sit here and wait and take this round.
And this is a matchup that we haven't seen too much at a high level, but I remember, do you remember going all the way back?
Theo.
For CEO and NLBCs, that this was Sonic Fox's pick for Batman?
I mean, if it was, I feel like it was more of, possibly Forever King not knowing the matchup, because we have not seen Sonic Fox pick this character ever since CEO. Not sure if Scar's just kind of throwing in the towel here with this pick, but it doesn't look like it's working out for him. But hold on, we got a cowboy here. What versions do we have? He's going for the hard stuff.
Oh, the optimals. But simply waking up with a jump too is NubCakes and just taking whatever momentum Scar just had and just throw it right out the window.
And that was Scar chasing down the backdash, recognizing that is probably NubCake's go-to move. Who wouldn't go to that move with such great recovery?
NubCakes on the verge of making grand finals here. Potentially one read away. From out the bar, though, it's going to be difficult to avoid that wager right now. Uh-oh. Trace becoming active. Joker's getting faster.
And it's gone, just like that.
Throw. More wagerable. Scar needs something here. He's scouting out.
If he can make the hit, he's got the bar to make it hurt. But his NubCakes can give him the opportunity, and he does not. Poor Joker. Just wasn't enough.
NubCakes has been utilizing, like, all of the forbidden mix-up of Batman. The stuff that most Batman players will tell you not to do. NubCakes is doing, and it's working beautifully because it's keeping his opponent on the edge of their seat, and it's keeping them guessing. The back 1-1 slides, back 2 slide there. I mean, but let's be serious, they are not easy to block either.
They're not. It's a lot of different options, and like you've seen in that matchup, and you've seen it with any optimal Batman, they're gonna go for those slides when they have that bat.
Oh, especially when they have the bat.
Yeah, when they have the bat, you know they're gonna go for the slide because it can neutralize the situation. Normally the slide is very punishable, but the threat of the bat kind of makes you not want to press a button.
Yep.
Makes you not want to challenge them. Sure, you can go for a meter run back 3, but it's not the easiest thing to time. Something you really have to lab out and do in training room over and over again to get the timing right.
Exactly.
And, can someone stop NubCakes?
It's actually very similar to when you block a blood tornado versus Dexstar. Same exact thing, but I think that it's a lot easier to time that one. So if you guys got that one down and you want a little bit more of a challenge, try punishing slide with Batman when has mechanical bat out with a meter back before 3, depending on your character's speed on that.
Yeah, speed definitely is a factor. You want to make sure it's the one that launches quickly and efficiently. But, you know, rest in peace, Joker. I'm really sorry. I don't think there's room for you anywhere in this IPS series. We haven't really seen much. You know, there was a little bit of an attempt there by Scar, but I think that was more of him just saying, you know what, good games, NubCakes.
Yeah, and you know,
you got me.
In that situation, if you feel like you've lost this and you feel confident in yourself to make it back in the grand finals, you might as well test out something now rather than later and it not pay off, right? If you almost have like a free test right now.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Also, you don't want to give your opponent any more, you know, maybe he just didn't want to give him any more useful information. And he tried to go with a character that he knows doesn't really have too much of a chance. But let's move on to this game. Instead, here we have Rewind going up against WhiteBoi. And Rewind, the man that's really hard to predict, goes with Firestorm.
Begin.
We're going to see a lot of plus flames. And,
a lot of plus flames here.
That's Aquaman patented, guys. Mr. Aquaman was the one.
Believe it or not, that it was actually an accident. I accidentally said that, and I was like, wait a minute. Firestorm makes sense.
No.
Yep.
It works. It works. Everyone's got a purpose.
Every time I've said plus frames tonight, I've stopped and had to stop myself from saying flames on accident.
You can let it rock. You can let it rock now. Now it works.
Yep, absolutely. We're letting this bad boy rock. WhiteBoi making a huge read there, and Rewind getting so risky with that Trailblazer. I mean, this is a character that hits you so hard.
Oh, absolutely. Not only does he hit hard, but he can leave you in a bad situation, a situation you don't want to be in. But overhead launching here, thanks to that character power being all the way to level 3. This is very, very fair. Everybody loves it.
Speaking of the plus flames, there's about 8 billion of them sitting there waiting for you, WhiteBoi. Good luck, yes. He's able to take that first bar of health, and now he has to hope that he can get Rewind off that first bar himself and try to do as much damage on the second bar before that level 3 comes back once again. It's almost a race against the clock against these Firestorm players. And
I didn't think that was active. I did not think that was active.
I actually kind of like that mentality against Firestorm players, that you feel so rushed. You know, especially if you're on the second bar of health while that level 3 is building, you feel so rushed to like get it over with now that you see some crazy aggressive moments.
Now there's a very early pop there by Rewind. Not sure if he just didn't have any faith in going into level 3 or not, or if he just knows something.
Oh my goodness!
The read. I mean, you know, it was a read that could cover 2 things. It was going to cover the starfish, and it was going to cover the torpedo. And even if he didn't bite, those are still going to be lots of plus.
Oh no! You cannot run forever. There's WhiteBoi, and
Scarecrow wins.
Unfortunately, falling victim to one of the secret win buttons in the game. Unless you're going up against Dr. Fate's healing orb, apparently.
That's the perfect counter.
But man,
it's all that fear toxin.
What a read on that back 3 by WhiteBoi. It's as if he knew that savage that's going to try to do something, you know, in plus flames there himself. But wow, galactic stuff, mind-blowing stuff right now.
It worked. He saw, you know, I can really do some damage here. I can really hurt him, and if he blocks it, I'm probably just going to go for a down 1 command throw. The corner. The corner is in my part of the court.
And you know, that's such a scary reversal too if you're Rewind. I mean, you really put it all on the line multiple ways, because if he just checks you with down 1, that Trailblazer's not coming out. And then you're potentially eating a full combo. All right, making the switch. The blue beetle here. And we haven't seen trade one time in multiple beetle plays tonight so far. What? Down one. Even with the cross up that WhiteBoi blocked, but maybe thought there was a gap after that. And I am shocked. Armin, we watched the combo breaker. How many times that back hit behind Scarecrow?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised there too. I thought he was going for a ride, but unfortunately for WhiteBoi, that's just not the case.
Here. Looks like gonna be everyone trying to do something after the down one, and that is just swagging the damage over time. That was absolutely disgusting. WhiteBoi, stop showing up. That was absolutely beautiful there by WhiteBoi in the corner.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do here in this situations. Oh, and a punish, but not really leading into anything here is WhiteBoi. Leaving a little bit of damage on the table. Is that going to be what's going to change this factor here?
Ooh, excellent reaction by Rewind, getting the damage. Oh my goodness.
And Rewind's trying to write a different book here.
Talked about earlier about these meter burn combos from Blue Beetle hitting large. And they're certainly doing another back read from WhiteBoi. Why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The Fear Toxin is in play. As soon as he gets close to Rewind, he's going to be ticking away bit by bit at that life bar, but it doesn't matter. The command grab to close it out here and WhiteBoi off to a 2-0 lead. Who is Rewind going to be picking for his Game 3 choice?
He has a Wonder Woman that could be going for WhiteBoi. He probably has a Dr. Fate. Atrocitus, perhaps. Who else is in his arsenal? The entire roster.
The entire roster. Characters that aren't even in this game.
Black Manta. He probably has a pocket Martian Manhunter. And he's gonna go Wonder Woman. That's what I thought. If he had a character in his arsenal that he thought might annoy or do well against Scarecrow, I thought it might be Wonder Woman in this situation to break out. But he very rarely breaks out anymore. It really was his answer to Catwoman for a while, and that was about it.
Well, let's see if it's an answer to Scarecrow here as Rewind with his back up against the wall. He's got to make 3 consecutive wins with this last pick, with Wonder Woman, in order to move on in this tournament.
And this is about what the matchup's going to be. A lot of shields, but Scarecrow is just given this tool set of being able to close gaps and make one read, one jump, one advancing string, and he's in. Whereas, some of the other bulkier characters like Swamp Thing require quite a few reads like that.
Hail Demeter!
Wonder Woman activating that character power that does randomly assign her a buff. And a buff you can usually recognize depending on what part of her body is glowing.
Others like myself who aren't as complicated look down at the icon and then I try to like go through them all. But yeah, you're right. It all depends on which part you're actually going there. Oh, big risk there by Rewind, and luckily WhiteBoi didn't call out the resource here to punish that with some damage.
Oh, what a call out there by WhiteBoi. Unfortunately, not a punish there. Very few characters can punish that wake up move when you meter burn it.
Woo! A full screen whip punish there with the shield. Oh, that was actually pretty gorgeous by Rewind. That reaction, those young man reactions.
Those young man reactions and being able to recognize the situation, knew that he had enough to cash in and put WhiteBoi in a very tough spot.
That's gonna be the bar.
And Scarecrow's command grab, normally not as scary whenever you're in the mid-screen, but 10 times more terrifying here and there.
Yep, because time to guess again or wake up. To guess again and have to come up with one. That's the meter, so even if he makes a terrible decision here, it isn't gonna lose too much health. Ooh.
You're a fraud.
You're no match for me.
3 bars. WhiteBoi trying to get as much juice as he can out of that clash, didn't want to leave anything to chance, didn't want to, utilize, he wanted to guarantee that extra 5% there.
Here once again. Right even here. This is looking like a decent decision by Rewind. If he can clutch this out, gets Hermes, does have the air dash. Maintaining control right now, gets another punish, and that's gonna do it. Send this man away from you and die, and Princess.
Wonder Woman wins.
I mean, the amount of bravery that was instilled in WhiteBoi in those moments, not only to just do it the first time, to activate something in front of Wonder Woman when she's in shield toss territory, it's pretty ballsy. But to get punished and do it again, I mean, come on, man. This is Rewind you're playing against. So I think WhiteBoi needs to do a little reflecting. Oh, Adam. How many down threes are we gonna?
I've heard that Wonder Woman vs. Scarecrow is really bad. It's just so rare to see it and to believe it until it actually happens. That Wonder Woman does really well like that. But yeah, this is a surprise pick for me. I think I've known that he's been trying out Adam. I think I may have even seen him practice with Gur, but here we go.
Making sure it's the Atom. A little bit confusing when you hear Black Adam, and a lot of people referring to him as just Adam. So it's the Atom. The guy who gets nice and microscopically small in order to find his way here.
Listen, he's just trying to take you to Microtown.
That's it, just Microtown.
My Rewind.
And what a punish, completely textbook and perfectly executed. Hold on.
Woo! The reactions? I'm telling you guys, young man reactions are real.
Definitely are a thing. These are two very young competitors. WhiteBoi not being as young, but still in that category.
Double stop. That was kind of dirty, following that projectile in to close the space. I've never seen an Adam player do that.
Yeah, Adam's got so many different tools, and there's so many available play styles when it comes to any of the science that he throws down, enhancing them with the second beaker with meter burn. But Rewind more or less seems like he's in control. I feel like WhiteBoi's getting a little too antsy and not playing around the tree. Here we go. Can he open him up? He does with the overhead. Almost a free hit, but doesn't anticipate that Wakeup.
And that thing hurts on meter burn.
Oh yeah.
Depending on who you're playing as, that's almost a quarter lifey right there. Straight after the banana, down two! Second reactions, I'm sick of them! You can't even teach it!
You can't teach it. It's either you got him or you don't, and that's it.
You can't learn it. All you do is watch other people have it and sit back and go, ooh, ah. Absolutely disgusting there by Rewind it down to that trade activation.
Oh, it's about the low there instead. But honestly, WhiteBoi not getting too much when you open him up so late.
Enough of your tricks.
I think I'll pass this hero test.
Woo!
Look at the stomp here. WhiteBoi going to the other side, trying to buy himself a little bit of reacting, but Rewind's got something else to say about that.
Oh! Was that a WhiteBoi there? I don't know if that was in the recovery or not, but whoa.
Oh, indeed. Definitely the last thing Rewind was expecting, just like he was. How are you supposed to tuck a throw when you can't see the person throwing?
Well, wait a minute. All of a sudden, for the health lead, now a hit away is WhiteBoi. Gonna be able to do this. Straight activated. Excellent push above everyone. That was the only option right there. Then the block right in. WhiteBoi with the jump three. What a comeback!
I am amazed here by WhiteBoi being able to jump in of a different character and execute everything so effectively. I feel like it was a lot less down threes, but it could have been a matchup thing. Maybe something that Wonder Woman doesn't put the Atom, a situation that she doesn't put the Atom into. But WhiteBoi, again, keeping his composure, keeping his cool, and he knew the Wonder Woman pick was going to be bad for Scarecrow. Obviously, you don't want to tell a player like Rewind that, but I think the next time these two meet, Rewind's probably going to go Wonder Woman out the gate.
A lot earlier. A lot earlier.
Yeah, so just a little too late. If he went with Wonder Woman first or possibly even second, we could have seen a counter pick war. But, you know, fortunately for WhiteBoi, he comes out the victor, and he definitely earned it. You know, beating someone like Rewind, doesn't matter what character he's playing, is not an easy feat. So WhiteBoi, big shout outs to you. You're going to be moving on in this bracket, and you're going to be racking up some extra points.
Guaranteed top 4 right now. As we're going to move on to the other losers quarters final. That's going to be Ominous versus Deoxys in a battle of the Texas boys. We're in there. Let's go.
Now, all these matches that you see in top 8, they're all worth a difference of 15 IPS points. 15 points. That right now, if you look at the standing, that is the difference between someone not qualifying and qualifying. So it's gonna matter. It's gonna matter. Every single game matters.
So when it comes time for the finale and you're just outside of the top 12 by say 10 points and you missed one placement at an event like this online one, you know, it can come back to bite you. One match, it could all come down to one match and one decision, and that's frightening as a competitor. But that's the way the cookie crumbles here.
And that's what it is. I mean, this is what we love. I mean, you know, if you're a competitor, you love these high pressure situations. You love just getting into a slugfest, going toe-to-toe with somebody else and trying to come out the victor. You love trying to anticipate what they're thinking about and how they're going to react to pressure, how they're going to react to anything you throw at them. Ominous and Deoxys, who you got, Aquaman?
Begin.
In this matchup, I have no idea. This is not one. I get to see Loopy week in and week out, and I still don't know how this matchup goes. I think this could go either way at this point.
And Ominous cashing in on that guaranteed damage.
These two also, I think they go to the same local. I think they play every single week, even offline. I think that these two might know each other so well that we could see some unconventional stuff because they've seen everything. And what blocks? And it's just so hard to block everything there. But this could be a great match.
No, absolutely. And here we go, Ominous with that instant jump one, sniping him out of the air and trying to get something going. Unfortunately, fate is not going his way right now.
Woo. Excellent damage there, and we're dead even. Reversal sweep. That is something I've seen out of both Deoxys and Rewind quite often though.
Nice, you
I feel like Deoxys is more of the sweeper. Rewind a little bit more preserved, a little bit more calculated, where Deoxys is just gonna shove that down 3 right on your throat.
But sweep is also such a great tool for him because it's a hard knockdown that puts you in a nice ambiguous spot for jumping.
Oh yeah, and depending how that down 3 hits you, it's gonna be a tough read afterwards.
Here we go. One bar, 400.
How long till you die?
I'll get right on that.
The young man sarcasm there by Jaime Reyes. Giving a little light to his character here in Injustice 2.
Oh! Okay. He knew that he was going to try to check him. And the down one beating the forward one. Absolutely disgusting by Deoxys.
And this looks like it's all she wrote. Anticipating the air escape, and Ominous didn't give it. Fortunately, doesn't get the follow-up guess right. Goes for the down 2, and Deoxys gets the trade, giving him the first game in this grueling set. In
That's
this race to
actually
3.
My favorite read in Injustice 2 to see happen is someone not air escape when they have 2 bars, and someone read that they are going to air escape, and that costs someone the game. That's my favorite and most unfortunate thing to watch happen in Injustice 2 is when someone makes what should on paper be the right read, because if you get hit, you die. But you say, you know what? Let me die, and you win because that's my favorite thing that's ever happened in Injustice 2. That's so good to watch. In multiple cases.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the mind games that comes into this game, and something that's so different about this game is that even when you're getting comboed, you have to be awake. You have to be aware and understand, you know, how your opponent reacts and where their combos are going to be.
What a stand one in the gap of the play cancel as well. Like I said, 2 guys are going to know this matchup and each other very well. and we're already witnessing stuff.
Oh, getting hit with the overhead, a nice long comp. Whoa! Bounce cancel to stop the Peterbird forward three. Deoxys is a machine right now.
I'm not sure where that hit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Position looking for the shimmy here, but you know, Ominous trying this composure, but just couldn't stop the storm that is Deoxys in the corner right now.
That was so quick, and this is where Deoxys wants to be. Black Adam without a wake up and just shibixing this man in that corner.
Oh, and the foot dive, his nice, easy way in, especially with those unblockable orbs and such a tiny amount of health left on Deoxys' first
Run
bar.
your place.
I'd rather do this.
I'd rather lose this match.
Staying alive. Woo! Big commitment there. I can't believe that down.
Not only the down two, but the background into the back three. A lot of damage here for of the meter variety.
Okay. I think Ominous is intentionally doing that.
For the Oki. He's definitely doing that for the Oki here. It's kind of like one of those things where you can give up a tiny little bit of damage in your combo for a better long game situation. But long game situation or not, Deoxys taking the lead here. 2-0. Does Ominous have what it takes to make this comeback? Not only against, you know, a Blue Beetle player, but one of the best Blue Beetle players out there, if not the very best one, and definitely a character specialist here. We did see Ominous go to Starfire earlier, and then quickly switch back to Black Adam. So let's see, he's sticking it out with Black Adam.
Gonna stick it out
Fighters
here.
approaching Gotham
Yeah, I
City.
haven't seen that setup work yet for Ominous, but I can see the mentality behind it because you're always expecting that boot ender that takes 80 years. And maybe he's trying to catch you off guard by saying, "Hey, yo, and then immediately apply pressure," which is a viable strategy. But it looks like everyone's ready for it so far.
Everyone definitely is ready for it. They see it coming, and you know, I think Deoxys has to look into a little bit more of what he can do to change up this matchup.
And I'm gonna switch. Oh my goodness! That was essentially an air grab read that Deoxys just did with the aerial stab. That was absolutely gorgeous. And here being down 0-2, I'm curious why Ominous might not want to try Aquaman as well, because people have had success with Aquaman against Deoxys. I mean, the character naturally deals well with some of the shenanigans. I mean, the down 2 alone, doing a really good job. And just, you know, all the normals of Aquaman really do great works against Blue Beetle. I actually had the pleasure of playing that matchup with Deoxys at South by Southwest. Dragon did as well. And yeah, you can definitely see that there's an effect there. But they may have played this matchup 1,000 times, and Ominous says, "Nah, man, I don't know about that."
I don't know about that. I don't know about that down one checking over and over again. Ominous trying to get something going after that shield bash, but it is perfectly safe on block.
Yeah, you have to get that bad boy to whiff, and then he's kind of laying on the ground, just waiting to get punished.
Yeah, exactly.
Ominous there, and he still has the orbs.
He still has the orbs. Unblockable damage here, attacking on at the end. But Blue Beetle trying to write a different story here, putting Ominous in the corner and forcing the clock.
Conduct's wrath.
Maybe I should have stayed in El Paso.
Shoutouts to El Paso. All right, 2 bars gets him 25% back as a health regain. The sweep and the ambiguous stuff. He knew the delay was coming.
Come back right now for Deoxys. Oh my goodness. Deoxys is going down on health. Everything has worked out for him. Ominous needs something crazy to happen. Can't let Deoxys build another bar. Then it's just chip damage at that point. Oh, the backdash into the projectile, and Deoxys is going to take it cleanly with a 3-0. It looked like Ominous was ready to finally take a game right there. Had the positioning, had the health lead. Deoxys had his back to the corner, able to fight and scrap his way out and take it convincingly, moving on into top 4, joining WhiteBoi in a battle of these Texans are taking each other out.
They are. I mean, hey,
But
when you split, you got to do it.
From here on out, We got Deoxys. Deoxys eliminating an Ominous. It's going to be Deoxys versus WhiteBoi. Winner of that plays Scar. All of Texas has to eliminate each other right now in order to face NubCakes, who's sitting up there representing California in grand finals. It's Texas versus California right now.
It's definitely going to be the Texas show for at least 2 more games. And, you know, NubCakes playing out of his mind, man. There's no other way to point it out. Like, he is just on another level tonight. He's comfortable at home. I don't know if he's got something going on where he's just, maybe he just plays better in his underwear in his living room. Who knows? But NubCakes
some of us do.
different.
I will tell you guys, back in ESL MKX Pro League days, I was in there. Comfortable, shooting the breeze, playing some good old MKX. But yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's where a lot of these players, and it may not be a more physical aspect, it may just be a mental aspect of having no pressure, and you feel like no one's watching you. You're where you're most comfortable,
Blue Beetle.
Sitting at home and playing the game. You have your own setup that you're used to, and there's a lot less factors that come into play online where guys feel so like much more comfortable.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing, and absolutely a factor when it comes to, you know, being able to play at the maximum capacity that you possibly can. And, you know, you just got to get used to it. If you're still having those offline nerves, go to more offline events. It will go away.
Does take time. That's for darn sure. A little short story about myself. When 0-2, I think my first 3 majors. A lot of nerves. A lot of nerves.
It's okay. Most 0-2 is the most
right.
popular result.
Happens to all of us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be afraid to simply go out. Now we've got WhiteBoi. Deoxys going at it, and this has just been a meter build onslaught here for Deoxys, gaining 2 bars on his meter gauge. Every single one of those.
Yeah, so I feel like definitely Scarecrow is falls a little short there when it comes to meter build per meter build. But hold on, WhiteBoi getting something going here, putting them in plus frames.
Just like that, WhiteBoi lead. That's what's just great about Scarecrow, is that you can have this lead, you can be zoning him out, 1 read, and it's a different game.
It's a different game. You're going to find yourself in the corner. You're going to find yourself getting command thrown over and over again.
Walking back in one deal with that. Deoxys just has plenty of meters this whole set. Just hasn't gotten to use it. Hasn't got to play with it. Hasn't gotten the hits. But on the whole, Scarecrow is going to outspace Blue Beetle. Outside of the zoning. I mean, normal for normal. Scarecrow's going to outrange him, man. Will we see Trey? Will we see him try to fight fire with fire?
I don't know if we're going to be able to see Trey. I do know Deoxys has a very good cyborg. I don't know if it's good in this matchup. But hold on, Deoxys not ready to put Blue Beetle away just quite yet. Tying it up and taking out that gray health bar, but he's still got a huge life deficit to overcome.
Drop there off the jump 3. You usually see him either just commit to either the low stat, because even if you as a Blue Beetle player don't know what side, oh my goodness, that 4-3.
Oh, okay, we talk about the whiff punish there.
Oh no, he accidentally did 3-3 and not 3. He was going for the reset of stand 3 restand into the meter burn 4-3. He wanted to take this and take this right now, but actually a little bit of an input error there, accidentally getting 2 3s before that meter burn cancel. Unfortunate there.
Yeah, that would have been very dirty stuff by Deoxys. You know, such a strong asset to have the ability to restand your opponent in a game like Injustice. Now in Injustice, you don't get invincibility frames unless you wake up attack, and you can't wake up attack if you're never flat on your back or flat on your face on the ground. So very well calculated, just dirty, dirty stuff.
Begin.
Like I was about to mention before that had happened, as the Blue Beetle player, if you get a knockdown and you do a jump 3 and even you don't know what side it's going to hit on, you can kind of OS 2 launches off of it, which is low stab, and if you end up not crossing up, you actually get the anti-air stab, you get the full combo. It kind of self-OSs. That's something I see Deoxys go for a lot, which I haven't seen him commit to too much. But jeez, look at his control by WhiteBoi.
Just snatching him out of the air. Every attempt to close the gap, and WhiteBoi just stops it with one swing of that hook and chain.
Though, and oof, caught him. Knew he wasn't gonna have a conversion because of the trade, but used that to reactivate Toxin. Just kind of reuse, recycle.
Yeah, definitely not a bad choice of use when it comes to those frame advantages. Or those frame advantage situations.
Oh! Good damage. He's gonna go for the kill. Oh my goodness, I think he is. He's gonna come up 4 bars. Oh my goodness.
I mean, he needs to do it. He doesn't know when the next time he's gonna be able to open up White, so he figured, don't leave it to chance.
I'm a big advocate of come off whatever it takes to make the barbell. Come off whatever it takes. I don't care if it's super or what. Has huge damage coming from WhiteBoi. He's gonna teleport. He's gonna play with a steal. Oh no!
And Deoxys, knowing his fate, knowing that it's a fight that he cannot possibly win, just submitting there with the teabag back and forth as WhiteBoi takes the lead here too. Oh, what's Rewind gonna do here? His last pick. Is he going to pull out that pocket cyborg, or is he going to surprise us with a completely different character?
Cyborg might not be a bad pick here. Wait a minute.
I told you, I've been watching this man. This man's streaming a lot, playing a lot of ranked matches. So if you guys want to see another entertaining streamer, I mentioned Ominous before, definitely check out Deoxys' stream.
All right, guys, do it with me. It's Cyborg time. Booyah, baby!
Booyah. We all love it.
Begin.
The one time where we root for lane, keep away. Let's go, Cyborg!
Hold on. We always root for lane. It's okay. It's okay.
We actually saw Deoxys pick Cyborg in a mirror with Rewind on one side on Sunday. And he took it 3-0. Yeah, he actually had a really good Cyborg.
There was a Cyborg mirror, or
yeah, Cyborg mirror.
Jumping, he's gonna meter burn cash. Pretty good damage, not the most damaging combo, but you really gotta understand and utilize Cyborg's potential when it comes to the full screen game. All those projectiles, the mother box character power.
Oh. So I really like the spacing there from WhiteBoi. And I like what Deoxys is trying to do. Oh my god!
Speaking of spacing! Hold this back three, hold this transition.
Oh, that back three was so... Oh.
Now for the big guns.
Stop it, WhiteBoi.
Stop having fun.
Stop having fun. Big cyborg arm for the clash animation here, as Deoxys has no resources left.
That play has gotten him here. He's throwing just raw back threes, don't need to burn behind it. Just do it. It's huge. Safe. Covers everything.
Oh, looking for the meter burn forward 3, and WhiteBoi home to receive it. No witch punish there by Deoxys.
Oh no, not again. Not like this. Not like this.
He's trying to fight. He's trying to stay away. One more touch, and that is it. I think right there, Deoxys was anticipating the teleport again, but WhiteBoi said, "You know what? This time I'm gonna mix it up. Here I come."
Like 7 times in a row. It's about time someone else did something different. And WhiteBoi is gonna move on the losers bracket to face Scar.
So WhiteBoi, stay right there. Don't go anywhere. You're staying in this King of the Hill. This is now the WhiteBoi show. Can he keep the camera and the stream on him for the duration of this broadcast as he takes on Scar?
And WhiteBoi went into losers fairly early. Young Monster got him with one in round number 3.
Yeah, I mean, you did say it. It could have been a bad matchup. And, WhiteBoi probably evolved from that. And he said, you know what? If I'm going to lose to this Wonder Woman, I got to have a backup plan.
In losers, WhiteBoi's run has been 3-1 over Patient Impulse, 3-0 over Blackout, 3-1 over Young Monster in the run back. And he actually ran that back with Scarecrow, it looks like, in order to make this top 8. And in this top 8, he has already defeated Wakeups, Rewind, and Deoxys back to back to back. This man is on a tear, on a run through this bracket, and already guaranteed top 3 right now.
I mean, when you're hot, man, and that is it. WhiteBoi solidifying himself a good amount of points. Even if he loses here to Scar, he's going to be taking home 65 IPS points.
Supergirl.
And some walking around money. You know, who doesn't like some walking around money?
Absolutely. That's a lot of trips to the dollar menu, if you know what I mean.
Fighters approaching
Not you,
Gorilla
sir.
City.
All right, no Brainiac here. I don't think that he wants to deal with just, I guess just the jump 3. The jump 3 I could see being super effective against Brainiac.
I mean, not only the jump 3, but even just meter burn back 3 when Brainiac takes the sky. Yeah, clean hit every time. Ooh, dash up throw. The respect from WhiteBoi to not press buttons on that dash forward.
And even though these are all Texas boys, they all live very far away from each other in the multiple different big cities that's in this state. So they don't really play a whole lot offline, so I'm not too sure how much experience Scar has in this.
Oh, the down 2 does get punished, but really not into anything other than just the down 1 check.
Throwing everything that they can at each other. Scar. Definitely, the lasers are a very good tool here. One of the most, dare I say, annoying projectiles in this game.
It absolutely, yeah, it is. It just knocks you back like Deadshot when he's got his trait activated. It's so annoying.
It's unpunishable with what WhiteBoi just a read, and the momentum's already in his face. Good stuff there. Nice punish on the down 2. Scar. I like to talk about it, but down 2s are very seldomly punished here in Injustice 2. They're cancelable, but very rarely does the wrong one go actually punished.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, you see WhiteBoi doing a lot of down 2s. He loves to cancel his down 2s into the gas blast. You know, if you're not quick enough, you're going to get hit. You know, but it's a win-win situation for WhiteBoi if you really look at it.
Be very afraid.
That's supposed to be clever?
Most do have a gap, but you don't see a lot of players interrupt it. You know, the best that I've ever seen, you know, Samij, Dragon, I think are the 2 that I see interrupt those the most and do it very effectively. But it's almost becoming a lost art the more the game develops.
Too much to risk, man. Too much to risk. You'd rather make it whiff so you can't cancel it.
That's right. Whoa! I didn't even see that normal come out. In the corner we go. Got the Supergirl loops.
Oh, the wake up blast, the simplest option.
Right into it and looking for the wake up right there. And but what's the downside? If you think about it, the only thing that's going to beat you out is what? A meter burn cancel back? Or a meter burn? Oh my god,
Jump 3 hitting on all kinds of sides. The left side, the right side, up above him, right below him. It's just a giant hitbox that just surrounds Scarecrow there. And Scar's looking like he's in a bad spot here. Now we know he does like Brainiac, but like we theorized before,
yeah,
I think a meter burn back 3 is going to shut down anything Brainiac wants to do in the air.
And that wasn't the close game 1.
Red Hood.
Going to a character that I forgot he had, but I think that he's really good. It's just Red Hood here.
Fighters approaching Red Sun
He's going to have
Prison.
a few more options full screen, putting out the mines, throwing out them daggers. That's the best I could animate that for you guys.
It was pretty good. I felt like I could see the daggers before we even got into the game. Red Hood being, you know, a fan favorite, a very popular character here, a great, you know, footsie in that forward 2, you know, and just being able to just lunge in and out of pressure, whether you want to use it evasively or if you want to use it aggressively, choice is yours.
Comes downtown, but the mine waiting for him there. Really good defensive option there, and the lunge was the 4-3 out of range, or did he just go over the tail end of it?
I'm not sure. It looked like he just went over it, but his ass to see. Trying trying to predict that anti-air there is Red Hood. Oh, looking for the back three. What's he gonna do afterwards? Chucks that mine down, getting a little bit of damage. And a very aggressive lunge.
Oh, another jump and read by WhiteBoi. That's gonna, again, one read and it's momentum in his favor. So much damage can occur off that. Knock out in the corner. Didn't overly commit. Ooh, and 2 hits of bar. Or sorry, 2 hits of armor there on the archable in the corner. It's actually gonna save Scar from what would have been a gigantic BMB. He hit confirmed with the swinging of the chain, looking like Betty and Kung Pao under the fist over here.
Swinging it around, definitely.
Just swinging his chain. Whoa! He's been all over the clutch. Be able to react accordingly. It misses the board. Doesn't get punished for it.
Might have been a game changer here. Can Scar make this comeback, or is the Spear Toxin gonna say something else about it? And the down one, down one, down one. Where are you gonna go on a second frame advantage on hit? And WhiteBoi taking it over.
Man, oh man. What a match.
That was
Super
impressive.
WhiteBoi,
Really stating something there.
yeah, he's on a tear. Like I said, go to how many
Fighters
matches
approaching
this
Red
man's
Sun
played
prison.
in comparison to how many matches Scar's played. Like, he is optimally warmed up right now. and it looks like he came into this match at a higher RPM than Scar did. And it's almost no question right now.
I mean, you really got to think about what that does mentally to you. When you go to winners finals, you're playing hot all day, no losses at all, and just to get demolished by NubCakes is not. NubCakes beat Scar so bad that it's affecting him here in losers finals.
Ooh, beautiful interrupted. That jump ball was so high, had to open a gap there. You guys have to recognize those too. People who jumpers that are very early or hit very high on your hitbox, especially if they jump up into them, they're going to be minus. It's just one more thing to look out for, recognition-wise.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you got to look out for those instant jump ones. Very punishable when they land on the.
Oh! Ow. I get goosebumps every time I see this Kevin Nash power bomb. Oh my goodness.
Standing position here, no access to wake up. What's he gonna go for? The stand 3 and the trade with the down 2.
And he actually built his trade all the way, so there was no actual gas after he activated that, which would have killed Scar even on the freeze. Unfortunate there for WhiteBoi, actually.
This will haunt your dreams.
Activating that character power, the Fear Toxin, trying to close the gap between himself and Supergirl, trying to inflict as much damage as possible here.
Oh. No bar for the restand. Go for the tick throw, but not close enough. Scar the backwalk actually saved him there. Corner here. Ooh. Another second, he's gonna get aggressive. Chip damage there. He's just gonna hang out by this wrecking ball.
Ooh, blocks there by Scar, but didn't anticipate the command throw here. Hold on, the freeze and switching the sides over.
Inside your head.
Gross, not happening.
Woo! And no for normal, the Supergirl's definitely gonna beat him out as far as speed. Supergirl's got these big normals, but they do take a while to come out, and I wasn't even sure that could have been a thing that WhiteBoi was attempting right there. And now just looking for one jump in. All WhiteBoi needs right now.
Oh, just hitting a back-to-back with those eye lasers. As Scar patiently waits for it to recharge. You gotta look at the progress down there at the bottom of the screen. Full screen presence is activated here. The traumatized can be triggered.
That's what Scar was looking for. That's what he was worried about. The only thing holding him back from shooting out these lasers some more. And sit down. Give it the full screen and look at the aggression out of nowhere. Oh no. This is gonna be WhiteBoi throwing into one. Oh, and if you did the jump 3 instead of 2, would have got the hit on Scar, but Scar gonna stay alive. Just barely here in his fight to stay alive and make grand finals of this event.
Scar finally showing some signs of life here, able to take it from WhiteBoi, and that was WhiteBoi's game to lose. I mean, it was his. It was all
was.
over. He had a great life lead in complete control, and Scar just
Fighters
played the
approaching
neutral
Red Sun
perfectly,
Prison.
utilizing those air lasers perfectly.
Oh, that came down to one read, and WhiteBoi made the read that Scar was going to stay in the corner, and the forward dash actually messed him up. Again, if you didn't jump 3, I think the damage would have been there raw to get the kill.
Yeah, it would have been enough. But unfortunately for WhiteBoi, he's still got to fight. He's got to win one of these next 2 games to move on to grand finals.
Ooh. Excellent battle of the down 2. Scar has been kind of savage with these down 2s.
You got to challenge at some points. You know, you can't let your opponent think that you're going to be completely respectful during all their pressure.
Hey, you can't be complacent and let them get into a rhythm. And you know, if you make one mistake, you block too long, it's sometimes impossible to block forever, guys.
There's that interrupt you were talking about. WhiteBoi looking for the ear black, and Scar ready at the helm with that down 2 to punish WhiteBoi and put him in a bad spot. The traumatize activated, no hit. And what a whiff punish. That laser went right through his shoulder blades. How did it not hit him?
That's that scarecrow tech, man. Fear the back 3.
Route protect me.
Prayers won't save you.
Woo! Coming in from downtown with a dolphin dive. There, that's, oh my goodness! What a read! Is this WhiteBoi's opportunity to win another IPS event?
We saw him here possibly doing something before. Scar was able to make a comeback, but I don't think it's gonna happen again this time around. WhiteBoi had a huge advantage here when it comes to life bar. He's gonna take this damage. He's gonna be okay. Not quite killed yet, but he is gonna be in the corner. And perfectly executed and you know, chipped out from Scar. Knew it was enough. This might be curtains, Walker, man. This might be curtains.
Oh, it's still activated. Oh, it's just activated one more time. Find his way in. Oh, it's still activated. Oh my goodness, I mean, lasts forever, an eternity. And WhiteBoi 3-1 over Scar is going to make grand finals here of the Injustice Pro Series Online West.
I told you it was the WhiteBoi show. WhiteBoi moving on. Does he have what it takes to take out NubCakes? I mean, you know, this is a man who's just been playing so amazingly. But, you know, WhiteBoi definitely knows this matchup. He knows a little bit about Batman. If you go all the way back to CEO Top 8, when WhiteBoi, again, was playing out of his mind, he was able to best Forever King in that Top 8 in a match where I don't think I've ever seen so many batarangs thrown. WhiteBoi was able to keep his composure. Yeah, and what's a huge factor is the few nerfs that Batman got since that patch. You know, not so active on the jump.
Build. Yep.
Yeah, way less meter burn on the batarangs. Not as active of a jump into. So I think WhiteBoi is going to be feeling confident in this situation.
Absolutely, but you know, you never know if NubCakes is going to try to implement maybe a little bit of a different game plan. But I think on paper, you know, that's the patented play in this particular matchup, simply because batarangs move him away, and he doesn't want to be up close and personal with Scarecrow at all. But you never know with NubCakes. He might just turn up some aggression out of nowhere. You rarely see him sit back and be complacent with like just zoning. NubCakes, I don't think that's in his blood. I think he has some aggression in his blood, and I think we're going to see that.
We definitely could see it. NubCakes has been doing an amazing job, you know, with punishing, with, you know, utilizing that double jump, air floating, delaying, and messing with the air trajectory and punishing his opponent's attempt to anti-air him or to possibly whiff punish him.
Batman.
But you got to watch out for that Scarecrow back 3, the Scarecrow down 2. I mean, even if Batman double jumps him, he's still going to get sniped out of the sky.
It's so big, and guys, it is time for grand finals. Let's make some noise. I can't hear you, but you might as well just spam in that chat. Let's go. Grand finals time. The Injustice Pro Series Online West. Someone's about to win 125 points towards their season.
Someone's going to win 125. Someone's going to win 80. That is a 45% difference all here in this grand finals. That's a big, big difference. stuck in those batarangs that don't really build as much meter in this situation anymore. So I don't know if WhiteBoi's going to be fine with it. Going for a meter burn forward 3 there. Not sure if that was a smart decision with 3 bats ready to go.
Yeah, what was unfortunate was NubCakes didn't get the punish. He only got span 2. Excellent push block, and that's not something that we saw people doing. In the past couple of matches, we haven't seen people push blocking Scarecrow.
I mean, yeah, you got to push block it, especially when he puts himself at such a great frame advantage on block. You really got to just neutralize it, you know, go bar for bar. Somehow that forward 3 whiff, and WhiteBoi looking like he is ready to take this with a back 3 right after that traumatize. Maximize that meter build by ending it early with the command grab. WhiteBoi on another level right now. Is NubCakes too cold?
WhiteBoi has to do it 6 times against someone who hasn't lost a single game this tournament. NubCakes has just been playing that well. Really early on with that first match versus Underwater. But here in top 8, all 3-0s across the board and 3-0 against Deoxys to make the stop.
Rethink your strategy.
That's right. The Underwater comeback. I completely forgot about it.
You can't save Gotham.
I am Gotham.
Ooh, WhiteBoi a little overextension there. Not sure if he realized how little health he's lost in that red health bar, but that might play a huge factor.
Ooh, not enough on the back 3. Maybe it was a little bit too slow. It looked like to be the right one though. Good put there. WhiteBoi didn't want to deal with any balance on sense with coming in, and I love when he makes those reads with the dive kicks that catch limbs on the ground. And gets the reset with the 4-3. Oh my goodness, this has just turned around a complete 180 for NubCakes right now. Some plus frames right there. What a conversion off the entire back 1-1.
Oh, and NubCakes turning this completely around, just like you said it. And I feel like WhiteBoi just lost it. He lost every ounce of his sanity when he was in the corner, when he got opened up and put back into the same situation. He just said, I don't know what to do. I'm going to jump. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here, but that is definitely, I can assure you, that is probably the worst decision you want to make when Batman grapples you in the corner. Do not jump. Yeah, he's going to check you.
Just block at that point, especially after the plus frames of the up batarang. It's his turn.
Fighters approaching Arkham Asylum.
Do not try to steal it.
And what was crazy was the hitbox on that 4-2-3 from Batman. Can we talk about that? Both hits of the knee hitting up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, Batman's got some ups, man. He's definitely got some ups. You know, being one of the, I believe he's the only character in this game with a double.
Correct. And 4-3s all tournament long. 4-3s opening up his opponent, whether it be armored or raw. Uses it on plus frames in the corner just to throw a different mix-up against females crossing up all day long. That's 2 games away from the entire tournament. The entire tournament.
A lot of points, man. A lot of points on the line. A 45-point differential. WhiteBoi, a little unorthodox there. Going for that just raw gas breath.
And WhiteBoi's back 3s have been so clutch in his comeback of this entire tournament. But already 2 for 2 getting shredded by the bats.
Don't waste my time.
Yeah, this is just NubCakes dictating the pace, you know, really just throwing those batarangs around. You know, possibly throwing in a read here and there with the up batarang.
Oh! I didn't even expect that to hit that low on the hitbox where it landed, and that, he didn't actually wait for the hit stun to end there. So that was a combo. Yeah, here we go.
Definitely looking for some kind of reset there, possibly slightly mistimed by NubCakes. Is this going to be the opening? The anti-air up grapple. How did he know?
That's just a read of lifetime right there. We're gonna get the kill. I was curious if he was gonna get traumatized, teleport down 1 there to reverse the positioning, because he definitely wants Batman in his corner.
Absolutely does here. Looking for that opening here. Has the character power ready to go. 2 bats, just like a gun, right to your head. Telling you to try to do something here. Takes advantage of the hit advantage and goes for a throw. NubCakes perfectly calculated here.
About stopping that double dive in his tracks, and now we're going to the corner. This is where WhiteBoi can make his comeback, but he
Comes your
immediately
next
shutting
stop.
that down as NubCakes.
This isn't over yet.
That was so smart, because you're going to eat a lot of damage and you're going to eat a potential reset attempt.
You can't save Gotham.
Gotham will rise again.
So smart, and WhiteBoi staying alive with this clash himself. And we're back out here in the neutral that Batman seems to control in this matchup. Another back three attempt by WhiteBoi going punished, and NubCakes is now 1 game away from being your champion.
That double jump is definitely playing a bigger factor in this matchup, a way bigger factor than anticipated. WhiteBoi looking for a lot of back threes there in those situations, but NubCakes very quick to really stop it. You know, your back heavies are going to be a lot slower than a lot of moves out there. You know, usually they leave you in a great frame advantage afterwards on block, but you know, it's got a consequence. You know, a little bit slower, way more advantage though. And you know, WhiteBoi possibly trying to go back to the character select screen. You know, in his head, wants to move on, wants these points. We could go at him. However, I wouldn't advise it if I were WhiteBoi.
If it isn't up to par, and Batman again, you know, I think does well enough in that matchup to again shut down some of the craziness that Adam possesses.
I mean, not only that, but if you look back at Combo Breaker, you see NubCakes versus Gur. You know, Gur did come out the victor, but he squeaked by. Like, it looked really bad for Gur in a lot of situations. And when you're a player like NubCakes and you lost a match like that, you best believe that he went home after that weekend and studied this matchup exclusively.
And here we go. Coming down to already 2 unfortunate things for WhiteBoi, losing his straight and then losing a quarter of his life to get us started in a potential final match of the night.
This is match point for NubCakes. This is going to be a clean victory for him. Oh, looking for something, trying to get small here. Going micro, trying to open up NubCakes. I feel like for the most part, anytime NubCakes had to deal with this, he was pretty good at it.
Stand here. Oh, I don't know. Did he miss the forward jump and accidentally get neutral jump there?
He possibly did here. Using that batarang, trying to advance and trying to go forward here. WhiteBoi with the okay.
That block was clutch. Meteor teleport not easy to block. Coming here from the Atom, and another Meteor forward 3. And it's going to be the first bar of health. Now 1 away. NubCakes knocked in on the championship door right now. Say, let me in.
Let me in and hold on. Speaking of let me in, let me take you down right into your DMs.
Don't bet on it.
No mechanical bat to convert, but you know, NubCakes is okay. Trying to, you know, wait for his resources to come back, trying to build some meter.
And to put things in perspective for you guys, 125 points is automatically going to put you in 8th place.
Automatically, even if you've got nothing.
Even if you have nothing, it would put you in 8th place at 125.
Yes, for all those you people out there in North America on the East Coast, be sure. Yeah, you gotta sign up. Here, you can be the victor, just like NubCakes is looking to be here. Unless WhiteBoi can do something to change that fact.
Never counting on WhiteBoi, but what a grapple from NubCakes. Get out there again, galactic level reads. And are we going to get one restand, one more chance for WhiteBoi to stay alive? And it's going to come to a back 1-1, but the slide not going to get the kill. Looking for the parry, and he actually right after the active frames of the parry, because that is actually a very viable thing to do against the trait of Adam. But only one more, and the battery's going to do it, and NubCakes is your IPS Online West champion.
Fat man wins.
NubCakes securing his spot here. Pretty much, definitely going to be a contender for being a finalist, being one of the top 12 to get those 12 spots for the IPS finals, taking home 125 points. But big shout outs to WhiteBoi taking home 80 and everyone else who was here in this top 8. This was absolutely incredible. This is Injustice 2. This is the game at its highest level.
Shouts to everyone tonight. Everyone competing. That bracket was fire from start to end.
There
Incredible
was.
Injustice 2 action. And NubCakes just playing out of his dang mind from start to end. And like from the very first match, looked a little crazy. But since then, he just ran with it. That's the only time he struggled the entire night was his first match on stream and first match of the night. Or sorry, I think it's the second match of the night. But only time we saw him struggle. And then from then on out, ran a train on every top player on the West Coast here. And really putting himself in a great position to make the IPS finals is NubCakes.
I mean, hey, man, he just needed that little warm up. You're at home. You don't get that same luxury of, being able to warm up like when you go to an offline event. Maybe NubCakes, forgot to hit ranked. Maybe he just made it in time. But, NubCakes found himself and he secured that victory very convincingly, not only 3-0ing Scar in winners finals, but also 3-0ing WhiteBoi here in grand finals.
Yeah, and let's just talk about the top 8 real quick. Let's do a nice little overview.
break it down.
Start off Scar over Ominous and NubCakes over Rewind. That set our winners finals there. On the loser side, we had Wakeups coming in, having a really great night. He's going to get some points and some money as well. But WhiteBoi starting off his run with a 3-0 over him. Deoxys over Theo, the absolute classic. The only game 5 of this top 8. Deoxys over Theo 3-2. Deoxys 3-0 over Deoxys in a Texas boy match. WhiteBoi 3-1 over Rewind. Rewind not going with Wonder Woman too early in the matchup, which was what put WhiteBoi in losers. Was Young Monsters Wonder Woman. WhiteBoi able to make the adjustments late and got him with that jump 3 at the end with the Atom. WhiteBoi over Deoxys 3-0, really clean there. And same thing over Scar 3-1 against Supergirl. That would look kind of annoying with all the lasers. Fighting his way in the grand finals where he met NubCakes, but NubCakes was just on an upper echelon tonight. And well-deserved 3-0 victories across the board in top 8 for that man as he's able to win this event.
Yeah, man. I mean, NubCakes was on another level, man. He's one of those players that's very, when he's on, he's on. Like nothing can stop NubCakes. Last year he made that goal to just qualify for the E-League finals, just going all the way, doing Hometown Heroes, all the online qualifiers, and being thrown into that crazy bracket offline to qualify and, doing what he's got to do. He made second place at Hometown Heroes finals last year. That's all he had to do. He was in, no problem. So NubCakes, just a man on a mission, trying to complete it over and over again. But I think this year, just qualifying for that finals isn't going to be enough. I think NubCakes is in it to win it.
Yep, and we'll have to see what he's got for the rest of the IPS season if he wants to gain more points, because right now you're sitting in a very pretty spot with only, EVO and SCR left on top of IPS Online East, and then, of course, EU. But, man, 125 points is looking pretty good. And we've also got East Coast Throwdown, it looks like, on the map. I'm actually gonna pull up the map real quick.
Pull up the map.
Seven that we got. I see Evo, Online EU, SoCal, and Online East left for the 2018 series. That's all I see on the map.
And don't forget the last chance qualifier for players that didn't qualify and get those IPS points, didn't get those top 12 spots. You got to watch out for that last chance qualifier. Last year, Foxy Grandpa and Forever King both qualifying through the last chance qualifier. And not only did they make it to the E-League, they both made E-League finals that year. The top 4, Forever King taking 4th and Foxy Grandpa taking 2nd. So don't ever count out a guy, when he's hot.
Absolutely not. And I can't wait to see what NubCakes does moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, guys at Evolution next in just 3 weeks for the World Championship Series. That is Evolution. That's going to be massive. Injustice is one of the games there, and I can't wait to see what we got in store. Massive points on the line there, massive money on the line there as well, and I can't wait to see who's going to get the points and how this is going to shape up towards the tail end of the Injustice Pro Series Season 2 here. And that's going to do it for us here. Armor, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, definitely not. Maybe just to kind of, be on the lookout for Evo's set up that high pressure situation for SER. And, for any of you who are just overall fighting game fans, be sure to just, do your research and see what's out there. Anyone in the New York area, New Jersey, metro area, watch out for East Coast Throwdown. Whether you play any fighting game, definitely an event worth looking into. Injustice is definitely going to be there along with all your other favorite fighting games. And that's all for me, Aquaman. Take us out.
All right. Thank you so much, Arma. It's been an absolute blast casting this incredible bracket as part of the Injustice Pro Series. And we'll see you guys at Evolution in 3 weeks. I'm going to do a shameless plug. From now until Evo, you can get your Injustice fix over at War of the Gods. We got top 8 coming up this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's going to do it for us here. Congratulations, NubCakes, everyone that competed, and from all of us here, part of the entire Injustice 2 family. Thank you so much for watching. We can't really do it without you guys and the competitors. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here. Twitch.tv/NetherRealm for Evolution coming up next.